Frieza last second finally realizes that maybe he should transform, but by the time this attack hits, Frieza and his crew are wiped out. Nothing is left. Bardock, as King of the Saiyans, has led them to a victory over Frieza, and that's where the story branches off, with the Saiyans being the real kings of the universe, led by the one and only King Bardock. When Bardock became King of the Saiyans, he needed a Queen of the Saiyans, someone who would go on to be the unofficial mother of Raditz and Kakarot. This is the story of Universe 3 and Hanasia, the wife of Bardock and the Queen of the Saiyans. This is coming out of the latest chapter of Dragon Ball Multiverse, and in this reality, the Saiyans are the true kings. So it starts off with Raditz showing his absolute dominance over any other species by beating them down to the point of death. So because Bardock's the king, that makes Raditz technically the prince, or the next in line. And so then it switches over to a kid Vegeta who lost his title as Prince of All Saiyans, and it switches over to him as a kid, and he's not bothered by it at all actually. If anything, it's motivating him more to become the king. What makes the dynamic of this story even more interesting is that because the Saiyans killed Frieza, you'd think that maybe they would slowly start to turn over a new leaf and start doing good things for the universe, but absolutely not. They are 10 times worse than Frieza because there's just more of them, and you see here they're taking over all these planets, they're enslaving them, and they're forcing these people to pledge their allegiance to the Saiyans. So the Saiyan race is exactly what Frieza was, but instead of one man, it's an entire race. And a lot of this is actually Bardock's doing, and it cuts to him sitting in his throne in his new shiny black armor. You see the old king standing next to him, and Bardock has a vision that Cooler, Frieza's brother, will be arriving in 3 days. This is where it gets even more interesting. Bardock never wanted to be king over a long period of time. The only reason he even wanted the title was so that people would listen to him about his prophecy with Frieza. That's all he wanted. Now, it's really not that big of a deal to him. So Bardock isn't just gonna resign. Instead, what he decides to do is set up a tournament for all the Saiyans, and the strongest Saiyan by the end of the tournament will get to sit on the throne. Every Saiyan wants this title. This is what they live for. They are warriors, they all want to be the strongest, they all want to be the king. But in the end, it comes down to a kid Vegeta, Nap is also there, and then there's actually a girl Saiyan called Hanasia. The finals of the two strongest Saiyans come down between Kid Vegeta and Hanasia. Whoever wins this fight will be crowned either king or queen. This fight is fairly one-sided. It starts out with Vegeta looking like he can do something, but then again, you realize that he's just a kid, and this Hanasia girl really just shows what she can do. By the end of the fight, there is doubt whether Vegeta is even alive. Kid Vegeta, but still, it was Vegeta. Hanasia won the fight, and because she did, that makes her the Queen of the Saiyans. The story skips ahead a few years, and we get to see a grown-up Goku who never was sent to Earth, never hit his head, never really reached his full potential because he stayed with the Saiyans. But he still kind of acts like Goku. He's still happy, he's cheerful, but he is worried about Broly, because all the Saiyans who ever existed still exist in this story, but they haven't been killed by Frieza, so all of them exist, including Broly. It cuts to Broly. He's roughly the same age as Goku, and he's flying around space. In this story, just like every other story, he's crazy. He's destroyed everything that he's ever known. So he was sent away from the Saiyan race, and now he just drifts around space. About 10 years have passed. Hanasia is still the Queen of the Saiyans, but Broly has returned, standing face to face with the Queen. Before she can do anything to defend herself, Broly lunges in and with one swipe cuts her in half, ending her life, and at the same time, ending her reign as the Queen of Saiyans. This is the Queen of the Saiyans. This was the strongest Saiyan in this universe, and Broly comes along and ends it just like that. Anyway, that is the story of the Queen of the Saiyans. Let me know what you think. This is the latest chapter of Dragon Ball Multiverse. If you want to read it for yourself, I will leave links down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next Dragon Ball video.